Hi everyone, this is Chef Mark with Appliance Factory Fine Lines. I'm here in our Gen kitchen to talk about the pros and cons between induction and gas cooking. So I've got my induction stove here, I've got a pot of water, I've got about 2 quarts of water in here. What we're going to do is find out how long it takes for water to boil on induction versus gas. Let's get started. Okay, I've got my timer, I've got my pot of water here. I'm going to turn on this Gen induction cooker to boost, which is the highest setting, or power, and I'm going to start my timer here. Now, when you're cooking with induction, you might hear a little bit of a sound, a magnetic field is being created, and it's actually kind of shaking the pot at a microscopic level. That's that sound that you hear, and I really can hear it quite loud. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's not. It really depends on how thick your cookware is, how heavy your cookware is, and also how much food you have in there. The more weight you have holding it down to the cooktop, not only the more efficient it is, but the quieter it is as well. So it's been 30 seconds and I can already see some bubbles starting to form. So it's very, very efficient. When we talk about BTUs in a high-end gas stove like this Gen 40-inch Pro range, gas usually tops out at about 20 to 22,000 BTU, and it's really kind of held back by pressure in the gas line. In a commercial restaurant, you might get a little bit more, 28 to 30,000 BTU, but you need a 4-inch gas main, which is not practical for anybody at home. In induction here, we're running almost double the amount of BTUs. So these can run 45, 50,000 BTUs, which is why they're so much more powerful. And also they don't create their own heat. Even though I'm starting to get some action here and the water's definitely starting to heat up, I can sit my hand right next to the pot and I'm not in no danger of burning myself. The glass might get a little hot just from heat transfer, but it's very, very efficient, very safe. A lot of people can run less ventilation with induction. Also, it eventually times itself out, so induction is fantastic if you're worried about forgetting to leave the stove on, for safety, for families that have children and they're worried about the kids touching the cooktop, or if you have a senior citizen in your life who could slip or fall or forget to turn the stove off. These have a lot of safety features built in. Okay, so here we are. We're 2 minutes in, and we've got lots and lots of small bubbles breaking the surface, so we're getting close. Okay, wow, 5.5 minutes. That's quick. Okay, I'm over here on our gas stove, and it took quite a bit longer, more than double the amount of time. We're right at 12 minutes to come to a rolling boil for the same amount of water and the same pot. So we're looking at double the amount of time for boiling water. Now, you can do some things to speed it up. A lid helps. If I'm cooking, let's say, pasta, add your salt a little earlier to the water, like at the beginning. That'll increase the density and actually help your water boil as well. Also, a big heavy lid works great. A lot of times if I have a cast iron pan, I'll use that as my lid because it's so heavy. That'll help create a little pressure, help your water boil as well. The win, when it comes to speed for boiling water, that goes to induction. But let's move on to testing sauteing and control. Okay, now on to the saute test. When we saute on induction, we're going to preheat our pan anytime we're sauteing, and of course we're going to get a really quick and accurate and even preheat. But I think that's where the advantage comes to an end, because the second you pick up the pan, one of two things happens. You have no heat transfer, none. So when you pick up the pan, that's it. Also, sometimes if you pick up your pan, the sensor in here that says, hey, there's a metal pot on my stovetop will time out, and you have to turn everything back on. So for me, I find that those are some of the downsides. If you're more of a home cook who prefers to stir, this is going to work great. But for pros, when we're sauteing, we're picking up and we have that jumping motion, we lose that heat transfer. Let's check out the gas. As you can see here when I'm sauteing on gas, when I pick up the stove, I still have good penetration of heat from the gas source, from the heat. So let's say my pan's getting a little hot, I can pick this up and still have decent heat. You can really control how much heat you have on the pan just by simply raising and lowering the pan. And then when you're sauteing, these cast iron grates, they're much more durable than a glass top. I've never cracked a glass top. I've never seen one happen. I have glass top at home. I cook at a pretty high level, and I think they're really, really durable, but they can't scratch. Here, you don't have to worry about it. So when it comes to sauteing, I think gas wins this round. fact is that you don't have to choose between induction and gas. You can have both in the same cooktop. Here we have Signature Kitchen Suites has 4 gas burners, 2 induction burners, with even a built-in sous vide. So you can have both the speed and the control in the same cooking unit. If you love gas but you still want to have the speed of induction, another great option is to get a portable induction burner. This unit by Paragon it's great. It's got a built-in sous vide sensor. It's got a cooking mat for really precise heating. It's small. It's easy to store, and it'll boil water very quickly as well. So that's just one more way that you can have both in your kitchen. So which one's right for you? Induction or gas? Really depends on what kind of cook you are. If you're more of a professional style cook, somebody who really enjoys cooking and really thinks of themselves as a professional or home cook, I recommend gas. I enjoy the control of it, and I don't mind the fact that it takes a little bit longer to boil water. If you're the type of cook who really craves speed, you need to be cooking quickly, ease of cleanup, induction's the way to go. It's safer, it's easier to clean up because you have that glass top. It's a little bit quicker for boiling water. If you're boiling a lot of water, if you're making a lot of macaroni and cheese, this is the way to go. So for me, as a pro, I like gas, but I think for most home cooks, induction's the way to go. You know what I want you to do? Swing on by Appliance Factory Fine Lines, test drive both of them like I just did, and I think that'll answer your question. This is Chef Mark with Appliance Factory. Thanks for tuning in.